Come on, folks. Anyways, man, who? Who that dog? Got shit. Well, just calm your you-know-what.
Excuse me. I jumped on trying to get on.
Hey, bro, I jumped on. No, what? Can the people hear us? Keep talking. Keep
No,
talking. They can't? I can
I'll
hear it.
keep talking.
I can
Keep
hear some Plausible
talking.
Foolishness at twitch.tv/Plausible Foolishness. I can hear Dusty. I mean, I regret that I can hear Dusty, but I can hear Dusty on twitch.tv/Plausible Foolishness. You're not even talking, Dusty. Don't even be like that, dog. What a jerk. Why you messing with that like that, dog?
Because that's funny. That's funny right there.
Can you not hear us, Matt? You can hear us, right?
No, I don't think you can.
Oh man, I can literally hear us. Okay.
Oh, now we can. Okay. Because
All
we
right.
could hear each other.
We good,
Yeah,
man.
we
We
were
good.
just. I'm just trying because I have to handle all the audio differently, and then it gets messed up when, you know,
I,
when other things are
I
running.
just
So
I just want to confirm that Death Hunter can hear me at
yes, you can
twitch.tv slash.
hear. Yes, and
You
now
can
we
hear
have
it.
a third. We finally have the third, and it's set up, and it should be good from now on because it's
I
all
love it.
running on a much more
Okay.
powerful computer. Like 64 cores.
Well, good.
What?
So now, Ray, we're going to have to repeat what we just said. And don't take my line. Don't you
Okay,
dare
I'll
take
do
my line
something.
again.
Hey, listen.
Who's the king?
I'll make it even simpler. Huh?
I said, who's the
Listen,
king in here? All lines are our lines.
I'm the one with the clear screen.
well, time out on the field. Everybody can see me. I can see myself on twitch.tv/Plausible Foolishness. I don't even know what you're talking about, bro. Okay? Calm your you-know-whats, okay?
I'm the one in the throne room.
Hey, I can count my beer hair. I can count my beer hair.
Listen, man. All I gotta say is, do we need to whip some peasants around here? Is that what we need to do, man? Whip some peasants? No, I'm just kidding. Now,
Sometimes.
here's the dealio. My kids asked me, "Hey, Daddy, what's a peanut butter and jelly sandwich?" And I looked at them befuddled and just said, "Hey, guys, I'm not a cook, so I can't tell you what that is. Clearly, you know what I
Chefs
mean?
only, man.
I mean, what do you expect me to be, Gordon Ramsay here? I mean, it's peanut butter and jelly. I can't do that. I'm not qualified for that."
Hey, if it's raining outside, I'm not a weatherman, so I can't tell you whether or not it's raining.
Yeah. I mean,
So,
what is rain?
You have to be qualified. You have to be qualified in that field in order to say what something is. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, here's the
If
thing.
I pick up a rock, I know it's a rock. Do I have to be a geologist to know that I've got a rock?
Listen, in normal America, where we have brains, this makes absolutely no sense to you. This is like the most absurd thing you can say. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But to liberals, this makes sense because if you guys remember, I mean, it's been forever, and it's weird. Thank you, Vladimir Putin, for putting this to death. But back in the COVID days, remember we were told we couldn't assess what was happening with this virus if we weren't a medical professional or a virologist. Y'all remember that?
Mm-hmm. Unfortunately.
And what's interesting is the virologists and the medical professionals were all wrong about it. And the plebs, like Dusty, were all right. It's so strange how that happens.
I was right? I
Well,
was
no.
right? There was an instance where I was right? No way! Ah!
I'm saying, like, this is the madness. But here's the thing. She probably thinks she sounds really smart by saying that. Because to some Yale professor,
she does to the people. She knows she does to the ravenous hordes that make up their base. Yeah.
Well, here's the problem.
To the
Are they
overlords.
really ravenous? But here's the thing. is it really a ravenous horde?
Yes.
I would like to inject some reality into that conversation. Can you guys follow with me on this real quick?
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, I may come with disagreements to your reality, but
Okay.
yeah,
I'm
go
just
ahead.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you some objective truth, right? So in Florida, we have a parental bill that is signed into legislation now. Thank you, Mr. Ron DeSantis, that gives parents more control. Uh, doesn't allow grooming pedophile teachers to talk about sex with kindergartners, but it also allows kids to learn more about financial proficiency, so they're not complete, they know what's going on, so they're not excited about the
Oh, I thought that was
uh
a separate thing, but also new legislation.
it's part of the bill. It's part of
Oh,
that.
really? Okay, I didn't know it was
It
part of
was
that.
part of the bill, but that's the madness of what's going on. But Disney, y'all remember Disney?
Oh, we got plenty on Disney. Don't worry. We'll get to that.
Oh no,
Oh,
we'll
we
get
got
to that,
lots on Disney.
and we're gonna get to that. But think about this: the entire there was an uproar of the masses, right, for
Yeah.
Disney employees because they're saying
All
no.
60 of them?
Yeah, we're gonna
All
walk out.
60 of them?
Yeah, but it's a horde.
Yeah.
It's a horde that people like.
Yeah, and how many walked out? How many walked out? 100.
One in Florida and 30 in California at Pixar.
Oh, was it? Oh, my gosh. So, out of 240,000 employees?
31.
Yeah, 31?
There,
31?
40, I'll round up. 41.
I'll give you even more than that. I'll give you 100 just for being
But
generous. I'll give you
it wasn't
100.
100. There's a picture of the Pixar people. It's maybe 40 people, maybe out of
Yeah.
Pixar.
Don't care.
Which that location has 2,000 employees.
Mhm.
Think about that.
Yeah.
That's not even the context
Well,
of all
but
of
here's the
Disney.
thing. You're talking about in California. Those are the only
Yes.
40 who could come into the office because they're on
True.
lockdown.
True. But let's think about this. Think about this, guys. We keep patronizing this horde. That's out.
Okay, I mean, I get your point, but at the same time, like, have you seen? Do you remember seeing what happened at Evergreen State University, or the
No.
Antifa, the Antifa hordes,
Okay, but
meeting out their justice on the streets against conservatives and stuff. I mean, it's not. Sure, it's not like millions of people, but it is still sizable, and they are ravenous.
Listen, I will not doubt the veracity. Does that make sense? I won't doubt that. But
Yeah.
here's the thing. We have such a skewed view of how many people actually support this madness, right?
Okay,
Like,
sure.
Yeah.
Twitter, we bow the knee to Twitter, and only 2% of Americans have a Twitter account. 2%, which sounds like a lot when the context is 350 million people that live here. But here's the problem. Out of those 2% of Americans, I think it's like only 10% are active, like actively using it.
Mm-hmm.
Think about that. So now we're talking about a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of a fraction. Now, with liberal logic, you think that everyone's dying because of that would be the death risk, right, for COVID. But in reality, that's not very many people at all. So when you protest, we're going to protest the don't say gay bill that doesn't say don't say gay in it at all because it's a grooming bill and we just don't want to sound really bad about it.
An anti-grooming bill.
Yeah. In the state of Florida, only one Florida employee protest. One. There were more reporters on the ground. I don't know if you guys saw the reporting. Did you guys see that?
Mm-mm.
No.
There were more reporters, Orlando reporters, there to witness this big, massive walkout than the guy showing up. It was hilarious. right? And
That's kind of like there was a school that protested this. Don't say blah blah blah, which doesn't have anything to do with that.
Sure.
And it was a high school, which means the bill has nothing to do with anybody there.
Nothing to do with them.
It has to do with kindergartners to third graders. In other words, 5-year-olds to say 7, 8, 9-year-olds, depending.
Yep.
Okay, so that means you're not allowed, or teachers are not allowed to talk about sex to very young kids.
They're really pissed about that.
I'm sorry.
They're mad.
Do you want to talk about sex to very young kids? Are you trying to groom these young kids?
Yes,
no,
they do.
Not in Florida.
Look, they do.
They do.
Not in Florida. Not anymore.
Well, true. I mean,
well, they still want to. They still want to. They just, there's more barriers to that.
But here's the thing, right?
Yes.
So
they'll find another way.
Now there's consequences to doing it.
The people screaming the loudest for this, are they from Florida? Think about it.
No.
No, they're not. Did you see the commercial that was out against this? I found it like 20 minutes before I got here. So I do apologize. I wasn't able to share it, but it's horrible. So it starts off on a obviously teenage girl, probably 14 to 16 years old, somewhere around there, sitting down her assignment. Don't know what it is. It's just reading assignment, and then she gets called upon. And the girl next to her, wearing a hijab or hijab, whatever it is, looks over at her. It's okay. You can do it. So she gets up, walks up to the front of the class. Hijab, okay. Walks up to the front of the class, gets her paper out. My 2 moms, and this red light starts going off. The teacher looks at the little girl, 14, 16-year-old. It's okay. You can talk about your moms. Miss Hijab, can you please come to the front office? We need to talk to you. As this red light's flashing. Don't say gay bill. Vote against it. Really? 1, wrong age group. There's not talking about teenagers. 2, it's not saying you can't talk about your parents. In whatever that relationship is, you can talk about your parents. It's fine. What the bill specifically says is you cannot talk about sex to very young kids, kindergarten through 3rd grade.
And frankly, I think it should be older.
7, not.
Yeah.
I think that's too small a range, personally.
Yes.
I think it should be to like 5th grade.
But Dusty, you're missing point 3. In the commercial, you're missing point number 3.
Oh yeah.
Lay it on me.
Well, the girl in the hijab.
Red lights and
hijab mama's not going to encourage mom and mom. So let's get real.
Yeah.
I can say it.
Well, like I said,
it's the complete.
It is
everything about the left these days is completely divorced from reality. Everything.
Yes.
Yeah. Ray, I need it now. Come on, give it to me. Give it to me. Give me a liberal. There it is. That's exactly what this commercial is. That's all it is.
Yeah,
it's liberal logic. Well, nothing to do in reality.
But think about this in your lives, guys. Like we don't live in bubbles, so we obviously run into people that are not saved, that don't know Jesus Christ, that have not turned from their sins and follow Jesus Christ solely alone. Which of your friends actually got pissed about this? And the people that did, how old were their kids?
Young.
I know one person, and again, this is allegorical. I know one person that got pissed about this bill. and it's because she didn't actually read the bill. And when I exposed her on it, then she shut up real fast. Because one, let's get real, and I can say this because she ain't watching the show, and even if she did, she knows she is, and I'd still say the same thing I'm going to say. She's a divorcee with a teenage daughter. Her daughter thinks she's gay because she's got daddy issues. It's either daddy issues or you got molested, okay? Which sucks either way, and I'm not being insensitive to that. But let's get real. You're not really gay. You just you have things that happen to you, and your way of dealing with it is doing something abominable. But that's another story for another time. But a single mom, shocker, super liberal, is just reading the headlines, and I literally told her, I was like, "You're just reading the headlines. You're not reading what's actually in it." And I was like, normal parents don't want their 5 to 8 year olds talking about sex of any kind at all in that context.
Yeah.
If you're okay with it,
hetero or otherwise.
yeah, and listen, if you're okay with that, then you teach your kids about that. Your teacher should never be doing that because most teachers
Thank you
are trying to groom your kid, and now you're setting your kid up for madness. But then again, you're letting your 14-year-old daughter think she's gay. But that's another story for another time. Back to you, boys.
So I've got a friend of mine who doesn't even live in the state of Florida.
Oh, here we go.
Okay? Doesn't live in the state of Florida. Another state. Yeah. Ranting and raving about this bill. I was like, did you read it? It's about 13 pages long. It's not that long of a read. I think you might want to read this.
Sure.
Sent it to him in a PDF, and he never responded.
Strange.
Stop talking about it.
That's so
so strange.
Yeah.
Because at no point, listen, here's the deal. If you want to do your aberrant behavior, that's fine. But it's an educational institution. Educational institutions don't need to teach you about the birds and the bees. That's a mom and dad conversation, not Mr. Tickles that wants to tickle you after class. Okay. That is not the conversation you want to have. Okay. And what makes it even more gross, go ahead, Matt.
Well, but we live in the world that we live in, and the world that we live in is one where parents don't want to be responsible for anything for their child.
Yeah, which is sad. But like, here's the thing. Even from
which is sad.
Like, this is what I tell people. Like, if you don't believe this is a real issue, no matter where you live, look up the sexual predator registry in your neighborhood.
Yeah.
It'll freak you out. It'll freak you. But then, like, I think of this, like, and here's the problem. Full confession. When I was younger, I used to think this was really cool because I just wasn't thinking rightly. But, like, how many stories have you heard of the teacher banging the 14-year-old boy? I mean, let's get real. It goes both ways. Okay? Like, it's disgusting either way. You are taking away the innocence of a child. There is no context where sex should be introduced into an educational system. I don't care unless you are specifically studying sex, which you shouldn't even be talking about that at that age. You shouldn't be letting your kids do that. You should be encouraging your kids not to do that. What are the 3 markers for success in America? It's one. It's like graduate high school.
Abstinence.
Well, it's graduate high school. Get married and wait to have kids until after you're married, right? And if we're teaching
you do that, you're 95% likely to be
out of poverty.
Yep.
And at least out of poverty.
And out of poverty.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, but you know what? Let's teach. Like, and that what's even worse is like me and Matt, we have like kindergarten age kids.
Mm-hmm.
Could you imagine?
Yeah.
Professor Tickles teaching anything to our precious kids ever about that? Like,
I don't want to think about it.
Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, I don't want to cuss on the program because it's going to offend people because, whatever. It is what it is. But I beat the living HE double high, well, you know what, out of that person. Does that make sense? Like, don't.
Mm-hmm.
And
Oh, yeah.
here's the thing, and just being fair.
I've got 2 young boys. I'm right there with you.
Now,
I don't
here's
care.
the thing. Now, part of me is disgusted by this. Okay, just being straight up with you.
Mm-hmm.
Clearly, I'm disgusted by this because it's a disgusting thing. Okay. Part of me is giggling about this, and you're probably begging the question, Uncle Ray Ray, why would you giggle about this situation? Why would you think that I'm excited about this stuff coming out?
Waking people up.
Because here's the reality. I am so grateful to God for Joe Biden. I want to say that on the record. I am very, very grateful for Joe Biden. I'm very grateful for the scam election. I'm very grateful for the hubris of the left. I'm very grateful that all of the people in the dark feel very comfortable coming out to the light. And when they do, we see fat, ugly, disgusting, what do the Spanish call them? El cucarachas. Does that make sense? We see roaches all over. We're seeing a woman who cannot define what a woman is while being a woman, and then she's going to tell you what laws mean.
She's gonna interpret the law.
We're literally seeing Women's History Month be highlighted by let's just call it what it is, a dude with a wig on, slanging his Johnson all over a swimming pool, dunking on ladies, mediocre males, winning a females competition. We're watching newspapers give Woman of the Year awards to trannies. We're watching people get pissed online that an obvious anti-grooming bill is being proposed. And we're literally watching what just happened in Virginia happen all across the country. Because here's the thing, that you know how the tectonic plates shift and the parties shift and blah 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 blah. The shift, especially for Republicans, and I hate to say Republicans because I'm not a Republican fan, but if I'm a Republican, I'm standing outside of gas stations and schools, public schools, and getting voter registration going. I'm literally looking you in the eye and saying, hey, by the way, uh, the policies of this administration are costing you an arm and a leg at the pump. Oh, hey, mom, what's going on, mom? I know that you really don't like voting for us because you were indoctrinated by whatever school you went to think that Republicans are the most evil thing on the planet. But we don't want to groom your kids. We don't want to have sex with your kids. We don't want to talk about anal sex with your kids. Fellatio fellatio from a dude to kids. We don't want to talk about that. We want that to stay at home.
That's not supposed to be in our schools.
We literally just want to teach reading, writing, and arithmetic. Go ahead and vote registration right now. Vote red all the way down the ticket.
Good.
It's very clear and abundant now. There is no middle ground. Thank God. That mindset is dead. Now the next step, Matt, is getting people to realize that Republicans and Democrats are equally evil. Okay,
that's what I was gonna say. It's like vote red all the way down the ticket so that they can get rich and do nothing too.
Now here's the thing: if you do get that going, you got at least a better shot. I would rather have a Donald Trump show up than a Bernie Sanders or an AOC.
Sure.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Even eye patch rhino trader himself. I would rather have that a little bit more than I have the other person. I'd rather have the person.
He at least votes the right way sometimes.
Sure. But here's the thing: from a local
never voting the right way all the time.
But think about this from a local standpoint, right? Federally, are we going to make a big damage? No, not unless you have like a really strong force like a Trump or a DeSantis, right? Let's get real.
Yeah.
Things aren't really going to change congressionally until Mitch McConnell magically dies of cancer, but we talked about it on the show before. Politicians never die from cancer other than John John McCain, when they need him to vote and to set up Obamacare forever. Oh, wait, that's weird. That's just another conspiracy theory. But we're not going to have massive change, especially in the House, until Pelosi, who's been in office since JFK was alive, out. Does this make sense? Like, you're not going to make those changes really on the bigger level, but on the local level, where like it's the reality and we can see these people on a regular basis, it makes a heck of a lot more sense to vote in the people that don't want to have sex with your kids or want to show you gay porn or talk about anything sexual between a 5 to 8-year-old. Like, the Republican Party should be like, honestly, in this midterm, should play that we're the party of parents and we're the party of better gas prices. If you just those issues, you absolutely destroy the Democrats because they have absolutely nothing to provide at all.
Wait, no. That's
they have nothing to provide.
But we know that the gas prices are just Putin's fault.
Come on, man.
Who's buying that?
Yeah, sure.
But who's buying that?
I mean, there's only one thing to say.
Come on.
What?
Come on, folks.
You can't hear it, but no, I added some new sounds, and I got Joe Biden saying, "Come on, man."
Come on, man.
And I got Kamala cackling.
Like, you guys realize Biden got he got a 3-point bump because of all the saber rattling for Ukraine. He's already lost that in 2 more points. He's at 37% approval rating this week.
Yeah.
37. And then you got Kamala, who just... Did you guys see her speech this week?
Are you talking about the passage of time?
Listen, the passage of time.
Well, let me play it for you. Let me play it for you. Let's hear. Let's take a moment for the segment of the wisdom of Kamala.
The governor and I, and we were all doing a tour of the library here, and talking about the significance of the passage of time, right? The significance of the passage of time. So when you think about it, there is great significance to the passage of time in terms of what we need to do to lay these wires, what we need to do to create these jobs. And there is such great significance to the passage of time when we think about a day in the life of our children.
Amen. There is such great significance to the passage of time. I don't know if you've thought about that, but let me put it this way. There's such great significance to the passage of time. And when you think about the significance of the passage of time, you realize of the great significance of the passage of time. That's all I wanted to say.
That speech... that speech makes me want to vote blue no matter who. You know, I mean, that right there, she said it all.
But it's the passage of time. But it's the passage of time.
Death Thunder says, "Can I get those couple of seconds back from the passage of time?"
No.
Unfortunately, no.
Unfortunately, no. Time.
Oh, and let Kamala answer it.
No.
Oh, no.
Oh, good times.
Yeah, I mean, how...
So, let's talk about Disney. We said we were going to talk about Disney in detail. Let's go to Disney. You guys ready for Disney?
Yeah.
Bring on the Disney, bro.
Let's go to Disney.
All right, I've got here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 articles. All on the same day I collected these. 6 articles from the same publication about things that Disney are doing to lose our business, essentially. First one's, I'll just read some of the headlines. We can go into detail on maybe one or two of the articles, but quote, "We stand with our LGBTQIA plus colleagues, friends, families, and fans. ESPN issues statement of support for the LGBT movement." ESPN is, of course, a Disney subsidiary. And basically, yeah, this is a quote, and that's all. This all has to do with this this bill in Florida. All right. Report. Disney will, quote, "take action against Texas for order calling sex change procedures for children child abuse." Disney's going to take action against Texas for standing up against child abuse? Let's find out. Because of our presence in Texas, so Disney has a presence in Texas, we want you to know that we've signed on to the Human Rights Campaign's letter opposing the Texas bill that criminalizes parents who provide for their transgender children gender-affirming care. The gender-affirming care Richardson referred to that is considered child abuse under Abbott's order would be sex change procedures, including castration, surgery to remove male genitals, surgeries to remove the female reproductive system, plastic surgeries to construct artificial genitals, so-called top surgery to remove female breasts, or any procedure that removes a healthy or non-diseased body part or tissue from children when not medically necessary. So they're not going to do much, but they're still going to take action and stand up for the abuse of children. All right?
Isn't child mutilation child abuse, or am I crazy for that?
Not according to Disney.
No.
Disney's okay with it.
So Disney is okay with getting someone's genitals cut off?
Yes.
Because
yes.
God messed up, right?
Yeah, well, God. There's no God.
Disney
Mickey is God.
Anything in Texas.
They have nothing in Texas. What do they?
Well, I'm sure that they do some. They do filming probably there, just like Georgia does a lot of filming and
Disney Plus.
Disney Plus offices are in Texas.
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying Disney Plus. The stream.
Oh, they stream to users in Texas. Yes.
Well, there was a rumor that they were going to open a park in Texas. There's been several rumors that they're going to do that. Yeah. However, none of that is ever panned out. So the threat that they're
going to have some presence.
Continue any.
Well, they did the same thing in Georgia they did
really
the same thing.
Not much of a threat.
You can't hear us.
Okay, so essentially they're taking a playbook out of Biden's playbook, right? Oh, we're coming together, like the UN. We're coming together. So what? That's not stopping Russia from invading Ukraine.
Yeah.
Disney's not going to do anything with Texas.
But it's a bluff charge, man. Disney's such a big game online just to pacify the queers so that they can just get the money from the actual. Because the reality is, did I say that out loud? Did that come out of my mouth? My bad. I feel terrible. Just kidding. No, but straight up, like,
we got banned.
What in the world? Who's going to make more money down the road? Heterosexual parents that actually have kids, or aberrant people that can't have kids? Crazy question. And if 99% of your, let's get real, 99% of your fans don't want to talk about weird stuff like that and just want to watch a show that's funny and laugh at Hercules and laugh at Mickey Mouse and have a good time with Buzz and Woody. Like, no offense, that's a crappy business model to pander to people who literally cannot make you any more money outside of their 20 or less lifespan. Look that up, by the way, kids, in case you did not know that. But, gay men live 20 years less than heterosexual men. Lesbian women live 10 years less than men. Now, truth be told, they don't have anything to give their money to, so they can just give it to the house and the house. But you're only looking at 1 to 3% of the population. And based on the Florida numbers I saw of the ravenous employees that are out there trying to oppose this bill, that was 1. So, do the math. Those crazy parents out there in Idaho having 12 kids coming into Orlando to spend a crap ton of money, or little RuPaul. I mean, who are you picking? Now, you'll say that you're for RuPaul, but your actions speak much louder than words. And let's get real.
Well, let's talk about some more of their actions.
Go ahead. Fire.
Conservative Disney employees detail bullying and intimidation from left-wing colleagues. They say that the company's activism on behalf of left-wing causes and the increasingly aggressive demands of progressive employees have fostered an environment of fear in which people with different opinions have become isolated and even been bullied for their views.
No way. Marxist.
Why am I not surprised by that?
Yeah. ESPN interrupts coverage of NCAA women's basketball tournament to hold moment of silence to protest the parental rights and education bill.
All 41 of them from the entire company. All 41 of them.
But on air they had a moment of silence because this was more important than basketball. I mean, not that women's basketball is all that important, but here's another headline: Pixar restores same-sex kiss in upcoming Lightyear movie over staff outrage about Florida's parental rights bill. And then, so they're doing it. They're taking action to indoctrinate, to push culture in this direction, to indoctrinate our kids.
So you literally pander to Chaz, who's not gonna watch this Buzz Lightyear movie, to sacrifice me and my family from coming to your movie to watch it?
Yes, they don't want our money, and we shouldn't give it to them.
I'm not. I'm just not. Sorry. I mean, listen. I already
apparently not. Yeah.
I already told Judy I'm not going to the parks anymore. I'm on sabbatical. I'm on permanent sabbatical from Disney parks right now until something amazing happens or something like that. But this isn't motivating me to get there quicker. Does that make sense?
It's motivating me. I like going to the parks. I'm not going anymore. I'm not going. I mean,
nope.
It's insanely expensive, so it's not like I could afford it. But I'm not going to see. I want to see Multiverse of Madness in the theaters. I'm not going to anymore. I love going to the theaters, but I'm not going to go see their movies. I'm not going to pay money to see their movies. I'll still see the movie my own way. Totally legal ways.
Absolutely.
Totally legal.
Absolutely.
Totally. I'll watch it at a friend's house when it comes out on DVD or something. Anyway, but I'm not giving them my money. It's not happening anymore. And
do you see that pie get eaten by the rat on the sea? Did you see that?
Say that again?
Sorry. Did you see the pie
getting yeah. Yep.
The old pie getting eaten by a rat on the sea?
Yeah, it was on the bay. It was on the bay.
It's on the bay. Gotcha. Sorry.
Yeah.
My bad.
Yeah.
I mean, here's the thing. People don't realize how powerful their money is. Okay, well, I mean, they're trying to destroy that right now. That's another conversation for another time. But, like, for example, did you guys see? This is parallel story, by the way. Did you see all the major CEOs of airlines like begging Biden, like, "Yo, we got to drop the mask. Yes, we got to do that."
No, I didn't see that.
That just dropped today because really, this was supposed to be done March 15th. This was all supposed to be done, all the mask BS traveling. What now? If you're a CEO, what would motivate you to make that desperate plea to the governing authorities? Is it principles? Is it,
should have been
morality?
principles a long time ago.
Well, it should have been, but let's get real. They're CEOs, so what is it really about? It's money.
Of course.
It's always about money.
I'm very curious to see what the profits were for these airlines in the last 2 years. I can guarantee you they're down substantially.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I can afford plane tickets. I can absolutely afford plane tickets. I refused all the times I traveled to Ohio multiple times, to the Florida Keys, I refused to get on an airplane. And I looked at Charity and I was like, listen, I'm not playing their game. I refuse. I am not going to go there and get harassed by some floozy flight attendant for 2 hours trying to tell me to put on a freaking mask so they can kick rocks and suck an egg. I'm not doing that. I used to travel all the time. Matty Matt knows that life. When you met me when I was limousine rented and jet plane flying. Okay, I was doing my Ric Flair stuff. Okay, okay. So instead, my money's gone to investing in that home gym that apparently MSNBC thinks I'm a white supremacist for owning. I don't know if you guys saw that article. That was hilarious. But let's get real. Money talks, BS walks. If the plane industry is losing money, which they are, and they won't announce that because they don't want to look stupid for, being the only industry that's still playing this dumb game and been playing it way too long.
Yeah.
But Disney's going to do the same thing. Let's get real. Every single time we hear about this from Disney, something for the LGBT community, what really happens? What really happens? They said
Nothing.
They might throw a commercial in there that has a rainbow on there, maybe.
Yep.
But let's get real. The newest movie, what is it, Turning Red? Which I don't. Did you guys see it yet?
No.
We saw it.
Unfortunately, I've seen it way too many times.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, it's a little adult. It's a little older kid for our young girls. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very teenage. So we let the girls watch it once. We're really not doing it anymore. But let's get real. There was supposed to be a lesbian scene in that movie. It got cut. Okay? And I can see that happening in the movie. I'm like, okay, it makes sense. Toronto, whatever. But like Disney, when push comes to shove, they will go for the green every single day. How in the world? Why in the world would you try to market? Okay.
But they still use their subsidiaries to push stuff. So you got ESPN out here doing their thing. You got and they're getting bolder. You see it they took it out and now it's back in.
But ESPN's dead.
I understand that. But hear me. Pixar isn't. Lightyear's going to be huge. And they took it out and now it's back in.
Well,
and they're gonna keep taking.
It's not a kids' film.
What's that?
I wonder if that changes their rating.
Yeah,
because it was originally supposed to be a G rating. I wonder if that bumps it up to a PG.
It won't because
because Hollywood runs the censor bureau. I mean, here's the thing. Even we don't. We let them play around with it for so long, okay? And we still fork over our money every chance we get. Eventually, they're going to stop playing, and they're just going to do. Because studies show you'll still give them your money. Stop giving them your money. Stop.
To be fair.
I'll get to it. I'm a huge comic book fan. I love comic books. What's going on with the Marvel Cinematic Universe is the best thing that ever happened to me in the movies. Not the best thing that ever happened to me ever. I have a wife and 2 kids that I love very dearly. I've been saved by grace through faith. So, there's plenty of things better than that. But in the movies, The Marvel Cinematic Universe is everything that I dreamed of happening in the movies for comic books.
Yes.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
They're not getting my money anymore, damn it. And I gave them a lot of money. But we gotta stand up for what we believe in. We have to. The time is too late to not do these things.
Now, to be fair.
Like we're grabbing on, we have a grip on like the barest threads of what America used to be. We're on the verge of losing everything, I believe. I believe this. You may disagree.
I'll disagree, but yeah, go ahead.
The time is too late. To be fair.
To be fair, two things.
To be fair.
To be fair.
Now, one, Disney's stock price hasn't rebounded from 2 years ago. It's not rebounded at all. No. Like, when I sold it, it was the peak of what it was. Okay? And they were riding high off of Disney Plus. They had a lot of good things. That's when The Mandalorian was rocking and rolling, if y'all remember. They had some good things going. Disney's not kicking ass like they normally do. Does that make sense? Now, what they've tried to do is price people out of the park. So eventually Disney's going to become the elite rich people park. But that only lasts so long. Okay? Sure. That only lasts so long. Disney was originally designed for Honda families. You can't keep up the Honda money if you're going to turn everything into a Lamborghini. It's just not going to happen. Okay? So realistically, they're going to have to find ways to make money. You get enough stink going on, it is what it is. I think one of the signal flags to Disney, especially just in reality, was seeing like barely any of their employees struck and nobody cared. Nobody cares. They just don't, because who is the base audience for Disney? It's children and their parents, right? That's what it is. How are you going to market specifically to people that don't have children, that cannot bring people into the fold? Okay.
Yeah, but you're missing how I know. You're missing the lunatic people, heterosexuals with families who are like so for this. Like, it makes them feel so good about themselves that they're allies.
No, to be fair,
meanwhile destroying just the basis of society.
But if you cater too much to them, you lose the other people, right? Like, Michael Jordan's very famous. Republicans buy sneakers too. Okay? The reality is this. You want to be as neutral as humanly possible. Okay? They're only doing it to like calm the Twitter crowd. Normal people are not paying attention to this. They're not. They're not paying attention to it. They're not. And they know that. They know that the normal person doesn't see rainbow flag BS at Disney, right? They don't care, right? But what I will say to your second point that you made, Matt, America's already gone. There is no thread to hold on to. It's gone. It's an illusion. The Constitution still exists, but
that's what I mean.
Half of our country hates the Constitution. They've got, some douche Harvard whatever guy saying that the Constitution's trash and needs to be rewritten because it didn't keep women and minorities in mind when it was written. Or sorry, no woman or minority was consulted before they wrote the Constitution. Did you guys see this guy? You remember this guy?
I know who you're talking about.
Oh my
God. Don King.
Don King. I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, low rent Don King. But here's what's interesting about that whole scenario.
No. Not low rent. Academic Don King.
Yeah, academic low rent Don King. but think about this. I have a question. How many black people were consulted while making the airplane?
I don't think there were very many.
Hey, sorry, guys. I am so sorry. I can never fly on a plane ever again. Not just because the masks are stupid, but because there was no black people at Kitty Hawk, so I can't use a plane. Sorry, I'm out, guys. Not bad.
How virtuous
that means
of you.
I can't eat peanut butter and jelly. I can't eat peanut butter.
Yeah, you're too white to eat peanut butter.
I wasn't there.
You're too white. You're too white, bro. But think about this. think about, you're going to destroy you're going to call a document trash that's survived 250 years. None of the papers this guy writes will make it past, what, 5, if that. If that.
If that.
His 2 seconds of fame was on The View, which that's not that's not an accomplishment. But like, let's get real. Like, how many white people were consulted on his opinion of this? None. If we keep playing those semantics, well, guess what? It is what it is. But my point is, you have an entire ideological side, and I won't even say it's people. Okay, I won't even say it's people. I say that there's an elite class that's very loud. Half of the elite class, well, I would say 80% of the elite class, that looks at our Constitution and wants to wipe their butt with it.
Mm-hmm.
And I say, let them do it and go away. And the South will rise.
Now, you know me.
Well, yeah,
I don't care about the Union,
sure,
sticking together. I just care about the principles
fair,
operating at max capacity, at max power.
Cannot operate. Listen, the principles cannot operate without, how do I say this, other mediums to fight back. That is why memes have been so dangerous to the left. The left cannot memes have like literally the most powerful tool against all this stupid
is mockery.
Senior frauds. Mockery, yes.
Mockery is, yep.
Like the mockery.
It exposes.
Yes.
It exposes how
ridiculous.
It's the emperor has no clothes.
Yes.
And memes are the kid going, what is everybody talking about? He's not wearing anything.
Yes. And that's what I'm saying. Like, you can fake an election, like that literally happened to us. But the proof's in the pudding. People, like, you can fool some people sometime, but you can't fool all the people all the time. And guess what? It ran out real fast with, 5 months into this charade? The charade? Okay, like, there's nobody in the sane world, even like middle tier independents that don't want to be political, have to pay for gas.
Yep.
Have to deal with life. Have to try to buy a home right now. I feel horrible for people trying to buy a home right now. I feel horrible. I can't imagine. Yeah, Dusty, I'm lo siento, brother.
My brother is sitting on a cash cow of a house, right? When he sells his house, he's going to make a lot of money. But
he can't afford a house.
But buying a house to move into, or really he wants to buy land and build, is impossible.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. The value of my home has gone up $100,000 in 1 year, which is horrifying.
Jeez.
And terrifying. Okay. Horrifying. Look at the value of your house after this, Matt. It might shock you. Okay.
I have. It's not that shocking, actually. It's kind of depressing because I hear everything about that, and then mine's like 20,000.
Oh, sorry. Sorry. My bad.
Well, no, it's the area, and although my house, as old as it is like 40 years newer than most of the other houses in this area, so it should be a lot more. Yeah.
But you know what I mean? Like, think about, people have to live in the real world. As much as they want to play in this fantasy world of Twitter and social media and whatever, you got to get into the real world. Okay? Like, all the crazy conspiracy people are like household names and they're normal now. Okay? You can only lie so long before you get exposed. Like, I saw a video of John Chris. You guys know John Chris, the comedian?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Love John Chris.
Just did a show in Portland, and they showed some of his set from Portland, and he roasted. So there was, I guess in Portland they're still doing they're really doing the mask thing still. Like, they're really. Really,
Portland is crazy, dude. He was doing reels walking through Portland, just crapping on the city, left and right. I'm like, he was hilarious, but you could tell he was also like, why the hell am I here? This city is the shits.
Oh, dude, you know what it reminded me of, Matt? SCU. This is the worst
town I have ever been in.
But like straight up, like, and how do I say this? You're watching even the liberal people, because let's get real, liberals only get into power when normal people don't pay attention. Let me repeat that again slowly. Liberals get into power when normal people don't pay attention. Okay. And thank God there is a massive movement in this country for people that are like-minded like us. Now, again, I'm not saying that consensus is the way all the time. Truth is the way, right?
Yes.
Jesus is the way, period. But he's the truth. He's the way, the truth, the life.
Yeah.
But you've got places like Idaho, places like Texas, places like Florida, places like Tennessee that are like coming together where all the normal people are leaving in droves. Mm-hmm. So all the normal people are leaving. So all you've got left in these blue states are complete psychopaths that want America to burn, have sex with your kids, all that fun stuff. And then you've got the people who haven't been paying attention at all, right?
Well, there's a third group. There's the unfortunate people who can't afford to leave.
True, but let's get real. If you really believe it, you're gonna make it happen. True or false? If you really think, hey, this sucks.
To a certain extent, I think that's accurate. Yeah,
because I'll be real. I will. Again,
especially like consider that if you're in California and you can barely afford to live there, you probably have a better situation in a red state. It's going to be a cheaper cost of living. Generally,
Charity. 11 years ago,
mostly.
Listen, I told Charity 11 years ago when I'm living on the Palms there in Los Angeles, California. I told Charity, yes, we're going to leave the business. We're leaving UCLA, and we're going back to Florida. Okay. I could be I would be infinitely more wealthy as a garbage man in Florida than I would be a Division I strength and conditioning coach here in California. I'm willing to take that risk because I cannot see myself raising my children in California. There's no way I'm doing that. And we did it. And we were broke as a joke, man. We didn't have spit. we had the breath in our lungs and our beating heart. That's what we had. We moved back to Florida. I did door to door
now.
Yeah, look at me now. I'm not that impressive, trust me, but I'm doing okay. But like, long story short, you're going to do whatever it takes for your family. Because if Florida becomes a dystopian hellhole, I'll guarantee you, no matter how poor you think you are, you're out. You're going to find a way.
Come on.
Okay, like,
come on, folks.
I know how to bang in the country, so I'll go back to Ohio if I need to. If I have to, I'll go to Alabama. Okay, I don't care. Because here's the thing, like, at the end of the day, like, unless you worship your house or worship whatever or make an idol of something, you're going to bounce. You're going to do what you've got to do for your family. Because to me,
your home is not your house.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't care what your situation is, because especially in these blue states, it's so bad. Staying there, it's not even an option. How could you be a person? Like, think about living in New York, making less than 50 grand. How could you do that? How could you live there?
I don't know. You can barely live here on under 50,000.
But that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Cost of living is 4 times more in California. I can't even imagine what New York is, but I can't imagine because every freaking person that moves down here is from New York. Let's get real, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I was broke as a joke, but man, I love this Florida prices and Florida gases. It's great. Yeah.
Well, we went to that Trump rally in Sanford. Met a guy who'd been here for 2 weeks from New York.
2 weeks. And I'm already at my Trump rally. I moved here. You know, like you will move. Like, listen, when push comes to shove, That's why I'm not worried. These lefties will push out normal people, and even the people asleep, they'll push them out, and then they're going to stand around and eat each other alive. Well, you're not woke enough. You're not woke enough. You're not woke enough. Wait a minute. Neither one of us are working. Where's the tax money coming from? It's going to happen, and it's going to fall. Like every dictatorship, like the one in California that's building up right now, it's going to burn. You just got to be able. You like. If we wait long enough, it's going to happen. So you probably want to be where they fear God and they have a bunch of babies and we have a lot of guns, and our politicians here are deathly afraid of pissing us off.
Did you hear about House Bill 1013 in Georgia? So they're doing a mental health Obamacare thing. So like
I did hear about that. Yes.
And so it's insurance companies have to provide coverage for mental health stuff, and then which will be subsidized by, of course, the state government, and then so taxpayer money funding that. Then
there are things that state taxes.
Yeah, Georgia has state taxes. Yeah.
Dusty, have you heard
I don't know what that is.
State?
Yeah, no, not here in Florida.
Heard rumors of it,
Yeah, it's an abysmal
Florida,
thing.
though. But
it's demonic.
Yeah, Indiana has state tax, county tax, and a city tax.
Jeez. All income taxes?
Yeah.
Wow, that's brutal. Anyway, okay, so then it defers mental illnesses to the DSM-5, which of course says that the only available, the amongst the 4 treatments for gender dysphoria is gender correction surgery and hormone therapies. So you'll be you'll be paying for people's sex changes.
Wait, they have to pay for people mutilating their own junk?
Well, that's what the DSM-5 says is the appropriate treatment. And of course the DSM-5 is put out by the APA, and that is not the Acolyte Protection Agency. That's the American Psychologist Association or whatever.
I got you on this one, Matt. You ready for it?
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
That was pretty good. So and then the other thing is that it makes extremely loose what it takes to Baker Act somebody. And then that's going to be tied into guns as well,
Always
you have a mental always about taking away guns.
Yeah.
So,
if you have a mental illness, you cannot.
All our soldiers who were perfectly fine wielding a gun when they were, murdering, civilians in a war that, served, that, had nothing to do with America's interests.
There was mass destruction.
Yeah.
They will come home with PTSD and then no longer be allowed to carry guns,
Own a gun. Yeah.
And frankly, all of us have some mental illness, ADHD. Well, I mean, that can cause anxiety. You probably shouldn't have a gun either.
Wait a second. I mean,
just
I've got ADHD.
Yeah, well, you probably shouldn't be owning a gun. Luckily, we don't live in Georgia, but
yeah,
they're touting it. I went looking for articles on it. Every single thing is just it's it's expanding mental health care in Georgia. Isn't that a wonderful thing? Isn't that a great thing? We all agree that mental illness is a very big problem in our culture today.
Yes, agreed. But I don't think this is the way to deal with it.
What?
There are far
How could
better
you say
ways
that?
to deal with it.
How could? No, I mean we need to. I mean, the insurance companies aren't doing anything. You know, we need to do
Yes,
something.
but
Don't you
making the
care
scapegoat
about the
taking care
children?
of it.
Don't you
No,
care about the children? I mean,
Come on, man.
no, not in this regard.
Clearly, you hate monger.
Just so full of hate.
Yeah, you know. Well, yes, you know.
No, my favorite. Doug Wilson's like, who says and based on what? Who says based on what?
Yeah,
He's like, take it back to elementary school. Who says? Who says?
based on what?
Based on what?
That's
They
great.
don't like that question. I
No.
roughed up some wrestling fans over the weekend over that, but like, based on what? Who says? Well, these experts. Oh, these experts that deny biology. Oh yeah.
Which experts? Which
I
experts?
don't know. I was roasting.
Tell me.
Wrestling. There's a meme going around. They're like AEW fans and WWF fans laughing at Control Your Narrative. I'm like, imagine roasting an indie when you have Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar 75, that we've seen this match about 6 billion times, and you've got Nyla Rose challenging for the women's strap, and he's a dude with a dick and balls.
The governor and I, and we were all...
But hey, you know, more power to you. You're transphobic. Based on what? Who said?
Yeah. Yeah.
We full of hate.
Show me the evidence.
Based on what?
Yeah.
Well, my Bible says it's that's a sin. I believe missionary books. I'm like, cool. So then, what do you have a basis of? What's your basis of making that assessment? Sociologists. Oh, that deny biology. Okay. All right. I'll pick God over these guys. I'm good.
Yeah.
They don't like that argument, Matt. They don't really like that argument too much, man.
No, they don't.
They get mad when you're like, oh wait, I have to have God for morality. You kind of do. You can't be an atheist.
Yeah, it's kind of important.
How dare you?
Can't do it. Sorry. Anyway, let's wrap this thing up, Matt. Let's wrap it up, baby. Let's wrap it up tight. I think we crushed it home, baby. We took it home today.
I did.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
do we have any final thoughts?
Disney. It's a bad look to really support a bill or be against a bill that's an anti-grooming bill when you just had 4 of your employees arrested for child porn and child stings in Polk County. Probably a bad look. Don't do that. You probably don't want to.
32.
It was
32, not 4.
It was 4 in Polk County, but sorry, the rest of them were in another county. But yeah, you probably don't want to be attached to a bill that grooms children when you had a bunch of employees arrested.
Well, the bill doesn't groom children. The bill is anti-grooming.
No.
Anti-grooming.
But if you're going against it, you're essentially supporting pedophilia.
Yeah,
right?
They
pedophilia and have pedophiles in your house. It looks really bad. That's my final thought.
It's bad optics.
I'd say it's a bad look to rage against this kind of thing constantly and then turn around and give them all your money every time they put out a little piece of entertainment that you enjoy. And don't get me wrong, I enjoy it. I like the movies. I loved watching The Mandalorian and Boba Fett and Loki and and some of Wanda and WandaVision. I enjoyed that one.
WandaVision was good.
Yeah. I enjoyed all those things. But we just can't do that anymore. We got to put our money where our mouth is. And obviously, can you do that everywhere? No. Sometimes you gotta shop at Walmart and buy Chinese crap. Because because you can't afford to live if you don't. But we can live without going to the movie theaters to see the latest Disney piece of garbage. And it's not, and they may be excellent looking pieces of garbage, you know, but they're garbage because they prop up this company that hates you. That is more than willing, even if like Ray said, their dollars don't follow. More and more they are. Lightyear is an example. Pick the newest Pixar movie. But they have no problem throwing you under the bus. They would be, if they have no power no power, please. But they weren't able to get this bill undone before it got signed into law. It's in there. But they would have been perfectly happy if it did get squashed.
Yeah.
They wouldn't have lost a wink of sleep. And we would have been out in the cold. And so they don't like you. And so they don't want your money. That's the way I look at it. Dusty?
You guys pretty well covered it. I don't want my kids being groomed. I don't want anybody else's kids being groomed. Having a bill that specifically states that will help protect them, I hope. Mm-hmm. Being vigilant does an even better job.
Yeah, true. You know what also
Disney
won't help?
Needs to get off.
Sorry, you know what also won't help? What? Having a Supreme Court justice that gives 3 months to child pornographers.
Yep.
Yeah. That gives the minimum sentence to 100% of every single pedophilia case that came before her. 100% of her cases, she gave the minimum charge. Didn't matter how bad it was.
A freaking disgrace.
So
but she's going to get in. She's going to get in.
She's going to get in.
Well, yeah, they have the votes for it.
She's replacing the libs. The bigger issue is Clarence Thomas. You got to make it till Trump gets voted back in, please. Thanks.
Yes.
We should make it.
Yes, please. Or at least till November when the Democrats get voted out a majority.
And then they can filibuster for 2 years.
If we can do that, we're good.
Yeah. True.
Exactly. So that's my final thought. Thank you, everybody, for coming out. Love you guys. Can't wait to see you next week.
On that note, you've been watching Plausible Foolishness, the home of the Rube Empire, where the people are free, the taxes are voluntary, and we serve freshly roasted liberal logic every Thursday at either 9:30 or 7:30. We're working it out. Right here on twitch.tv/Plausible Foolishness, YouTube, Facebook Live, Rumble, anywhere you can get a podcast, Instagram, and minds.com. Peace out. God bless. See you Tuesday for some show prep. Join us. Give us your ideas. Think of ideas. If you see a story that you like or that you want to hear more on, let us know on the prep streams, and then we can do some research and we can expand upon it hopefully, and maybe
but they can't
share it in Discord. We'll be more than happy to bring it up on the show.
But guys, they can't. They're not biologists.
That's true. That's true. We may have to rethink this whole thing. Gosh, what are we even doing? We're not opinionologists. What are we doing out here?
I couldn't resist. See you, boys.
See you guys. Good night.
Later.
All right, we out.